Hello and welcome to the Squared Circle Psychobabble. My name is Michael Valenti for the unbiased conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. So in case you missed it over the weekend because you were talking about AEW Full Gear, Jake Hager made an interesting tweet on Twitter in response to Rusev. So Rusev was defending his storyline with Lana and Bobby Lashley to a fan that tweeted about it, and Jake Hager replied to it saying that Rusev needs to leave Lana and that a-hole company. Now, Jake Hager has since deleted this tweet, but you would think, and of course the rumors would be speculating and swirling around, that Hager was actually trying to say that Rusev should leave WWE and go to AEW. And I think a lot of people would like to see that happen because Rusev is one of those people that I think WWE haven't pushed the way that he should be pushed. And, you know, he had a great run when he first started as the United States champion, being an undefeated, unstoppable force before being beat at WrestleMania 32 to John Cena for the United States championship. But since then, he really hasn't had that push. Rusev Day was super, super over, and yet they never pushed him to be at least a strong mid-card wrestler. They put him in storylines. He'd be on TV, he'd be off TV. There was that long hiatus where he wasn't doing anything, despite really no injury report. And now he comes back and he's in this really bad storyline with Lana and Bobby Lashley, which, you know, a lot of people are talking about it and, you know, saying how bad it is. However, Rusev, you know what, give him credit because he's actually defending this, and he actually did an exclusive interview recently with Digital Spy. And this is what he said about it. How can I not be happy? It's the hottest storyline in the whole WWE. It's been the hottest storyline for years. So, of course, I'm happy with it. I mean, I don't know how you could be happy with this, folks. How can you be happy with this when you even have people in WWE on the official WWE podcast saying that this is not good and it needs to end? Corey Graves said something like this, saying that the storyline is ridiculous and WWE needs to let it end. So, you know, Rusev replied to this saying, just because Corey Graves doesn't like it or somebody else doesn't mean anything. Obviously, the numbers speak for themselves. We're the highest viewed YouTube video in a long, long time, and I'm stoked about it. Well, you know what? The numbers could say that because look at the ratings this past Monday. Now, I understand they were in London, so it was pre-taped. Not everybody was watching, but this, again, another segment on this was on, and the ratings slowly diminished throughout the show. So the first hour was a 0.75, which was down, despite viewership actually being up from last week with 2.358 million viewers. Now, the second hour dropped to a 0.66 in the 18 to 49 demographic, and the viewership went down to 2.06 million. And then the third hour dropped to 0.52, and the viewership was 1.753 million. Again, it went down. So they are slowly going down with each hour. And of course, this segment was talked about, but not in good reason. It was a very bad segment where Lana's talking about, you know, she's pregnant and there's 15-pound babies inside her, even though she has no signs of pregnancy whatsoever on her body. So, and then she lies about it. It was just, it's not a good segment, not a good segment at all. And I'm sure you can all agree with me that Rusev deserves better. And maybe this is what the storyline's intended to be, that we all know Rusev deserves better. And at the end of this, once he finally gets out of the storyline, he'll be set for a big push. But, you know, a lot of us pessimistic WWE fans are like, yeah, you would think that's the case, but we know how WWE can be, and that's just not going to happen. I mean, Rusev's not the only one that people want to leave WWE. And in fact, there's some people in WWE that want to leave WWE. We know Luke Harper has asked for his release. We know that the Revival have not renewed their contracts yet and haven't said anything about re-signing a contract, even though there was a report for it, but it hasn't been re-signed since. And now recently, Sin Cara has asked for his release, and apparently that was denied too. So I understand why WWE doesn't let these guys go, because we have seen it already with guys like Moxley, with Jericho, with Neville, with Hager. They leave WWE. They carry on the notoriety that they got while in WWE, and they've actually gotten better because of the creative freedom that they now gotten since leaving WWE. So they don't want these people leaving while still under contract. If they leave after a contract, there's nothing WWE can do. But if they're still under contract, they don't want these guys leaving and then making money for another company while they could have done it here. But you would think, just book them well and you won't have to worry about it. But they don't. So they just do this weird thing where they, tack time at the end of their contract or don't grant their releases. It's just such a weird situation. But oh, well, I mean, hopefully Rusev ends up getting pushed strongly and we get him back to where he should be in the WWE roster. But let's move on really quick to All Elite Wrestling. So we all know that wins and losses matter heavily in AEW. We always see it in the graphics that the wins and losses are shown. If it's a tag team match, they see their overall record with the wins and losses. If you see the singles, you'll see a singles with the overall, trios and tag. We all know the wins and losses matter. So on Twitter, a fan asked Nick Jackson during a Q&A how AEW will handle things down the road to avoid booking problems in regards to wrestlers' records. So do you have a way of booking around these possible problems with the records? So Jackson tweeted, it'll reset. Simple as that. They'll reset. So AEW is going to have something like a season. We see it in baseball, basketball, football, and hockey where, there's a season and the records reset. So I actually like this idea. It gives everybody an opportunity for a fresh start. A guy like Sean Spears or a tag team like the Hybrid 2, if they want to get pushed, they might not right now because the records don't reflect it. But now if the records reset every year, there's an opportunity for them to get booked strongly. There's a fresh start. So, and you know what? When you see that opening day, you could push an opening day or a new season premiere, like WWE does a season premiere, although it really doesn't do anything. It's just the same show. AEW could do a season premiere where they present like a kickoff. So, I mean, they're treating it like a sport, and I like that. We got the top 5 rankings in the men's, the women's, and the tag division. I like this. Now the question is, when will they reset? Well, according to Nick Jackson, he said that they will reset in January. So I don't know if he is saying that's definitely happening or if that's the possibility right now. I personally would wait. I think it's a little too early to reset them, but if you have it reset every January, I guess, unfortunately, it's just bad timing right now. But after that, every January would be a good time to restart. I would think that a good time to reset the records would be at Double or Nothing. Why not Double or Nothing be your kickoff, your Daytona 500 of AEW, of the AEW season? That's where it all starts. So I think that would be the best bet. And especially you can have all 4 pay-per-views because we know we're going to get a Q1 pay-per-view at some point in early 2020. So I think this would be the best bet for that. So let me know what you guys think about the win-loss records being reset in January 2020 in the comments below. Also, what you think, what Rusev should do with WWE. Don't forget to share this all over social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at SCPB Podcast. And for unbiased conversations in AEW, WWE, NXT, and New Japan Pro Wrestling, subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. My name is Michael Valenti. Thank you for watching the Squared Circle Psychobabble.